Hey everybody, good morning. It's Saturday morning. I'm rushing this morning because I was on the phone having a good conversation with my sister-in-law. Okay, hold on just a minute. Narik is still here with me. And you know what he asked me? Grandma, when is that breakfast going to be ready? So I got to hurry up and get this baby. I'm doing some French toast this morning. And I'm using, of course, my famous crafted bread. This is the brioche one. And this is going to be Kareem and Narik's breakfast. And French toast with this kind of bread is the best you can even get. I tell you the truth, it is. So what I've done is I mixed up 2 eggs and a half a cup of milk. It's about all I'm going to need for about 6 slices of toast. So you start that. You get the skillet hot, turn it down, then put that butter in and melt it. And you can't have it too hot because you don't want it to burn. Because you want that mixture to go all the way through the bread and cook and get crispy on the outside and be slightly creamy on the inside. So we got us some brioche. Yeah, we fancy this Saturday morning. Some brioche French toast. And in the oven, I've got some of those little brownie served sausages. Just brown them up and put them in the oven and heat them up for about 10-15 minutes. And we're on the way. And by the way, this bread, I cut it in half. It didn't come in slices this size. Just cut it in half. This is 3 slices of bread, so of course it makes 6 halves. My stove is on medium-low heat. And it has some Smart Start in it. I hope you all are having a God bless Saturday morning. Hope you had a good night's rest. And I'm praying that the weather is as nice where you are as it is where I am. My weather here is probably about 65 degrees. The sun is out, it's bright, it's shining, the birds are singing. It is just absolutely gorgeous out them there doors. It's nice enough that I could really sit out on my back porch. If Narik wants to do that, we'll do that. When we had, I'm going to go ahead and start turning these, which is probably a little bit too early, but I'm going to turn them anyway. Okay. I don't want to tear them, so I'm going to have to, yeah, there we go. They're about ready to turn. Okay. These on this side need to cook a little bit longer. But I'm going to go ahead and just dip these and let them sit in there a minute or two. Can't let it sit in there too long when you're dipping them. Because if they get too wet, they'll tear before you get them to the pot. So what I'm going to do is just stick them right on that side. Like so. Just swish them around there a minute or two. Hope y'all got some things planned at home, of course. Get me a nice plate here to get these out when they get ready. But most of all, though, I'm praying that you will continue to pray without ceasing, because we're still a long way off from where we actually need to be with our crisis that's going on, y'all. And I think every day, hopefully we're learning a little bit better about what we need to be doing in this situation, because no matter how it works, God is still in control. And going through this, my friends, has already been predestined. So whatever the end's going to be, only God knows. And we have to trust that whatever the end is, it's the end that He predestined it to be. So we have to believe God to that end and continue to try to love on one another, be here for one another, and just basically just trust God in all of our ways. Give thanks in all of our ways. Be loving and kind to each other, no matter what we're doing. I was listening to a program. I forgot. I'm gonna have to look at my paper to see what the name of this particular program was. But it was a very good program. It was a community program whereby different people, who were well known, the authors, the singers, the songwriters, and all those kind of people were spearheading, and they were giving words of wisdom on how to just be loving and kind to one another, and how to be there for one another. And you know, I say this about that philosophy. The Word of God has been around all of our lives anyway. Yes, darling, he wants to know. Is the sandwich ready, Grandma? He's so sweet. But the Word of God has always been around. And it has always taught us that we are our brother's keeper. Now, I hope that during this time frame we learn what it means to be our brother's keeper. It doesn't mean that you let people use you and all this kind of stuff. It means that we need to be there for one another when we need to be there for one another. And now is that time frame. Um, Someone asked a question on that program that I was listening to this morning. How do you see yourself? That was a good question. And if we answer that question truly, then we can know how we need to see ourselves doing for others. And that's what it's all about as we go through this situation. It's about how well we treat others. And if we see ourselves in a good light and want to, do all that we can do, do what we need to do for ourselves, because we've talked about it many times before. Be the best you, so that you can be the best you to yourself, and that way you can be the best you to others as we endeavor to help. And not all of us follow that philosophy. I'm not la-di-da-di in this by any means, but where we are right now, there's not a whole lot we can do except to pray and try to be better towards one another. Treat ourselves better, and that way it won't be so difficult to treat others better. So as we go along day by day, and as things change daily, and they are, as far as this crisis is going, if we note things are changing every time we turn the TV on. Seems like there's something different going on. Seems like y'all excuse me 1 second. I'm trying to get Norika a little plate going on. He's ready. He asked me, he said, Grandma, is that sandwich ready? He called it sandwich. So for the sake of getting him to eat what he needs to eat, he can call it sandwich. So because I'm sure he associates the bread with having a sandwich. Isn't that amazing how sweet and innocent little kids are? Okay, we're going to get him a couple on his plate. This is what his little plate's going to look like right here. And I'm going to peel him some little oranges because he has to have his fruit. I'm going to put a little syrup on there, just a tiny little bit of syrup. Peel him some oranges up, and he'll be ready to eat. Gotta let it cool off. But yeah, we have to be kind, loving and kind to one another. And unfortunately for some people, it took this crisis right here to help us to realize that. But I just hope and pray that going forward, as things begin to turn around and to get better, and it just makes me want to cry. As I was opening the windows in my den this morning, my phone rang, and no, it didn't ring. My phone was flashing, letting me know that I had messages on my phone. And 2 of the messages on there were from the public school system. And what they were saying was that they were letting us know that the deadline for getting schoolwork in for children is May 29th. And that they were encouraging parents, make sure that your children are staying up on their lessons and, up to par, because they're going to be doing some form of testing, I guess. And as I thought about it, I said, well, I don't have anybody here in school, but I remember I support my grandchildren. My name is at their school and phone number is at their school. So if they need to call me, because one of the schools I'm just right down the street from, and the other school is about 12 minutes away. So that's Lawrence and Neil Man. Oh, Lord Jesus. So as they were, it became, we go from day to day, and sometimes even things that we know we take for granted sometimes. But it became even more real as to what we're going through. Here it is, the 1st of May, and these children have been out of school since the think mid-March or something like that, and we're in May, and they're already talking about, wow, it's the okay, yeah, I have got to share something with y'all that is so cute. Now this is Narik. All morning and since yesterday he's been asking me for a sandwich. Well, I made him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and sent it home with him a couple weeks ago, so I thought that's what he meant. So I gave him that. He said, yeah. So yesterday he asked me again. I thought, what is he talking about? So I made another peanut butter and jelly. So this morning, when I was fixing breakfast, I was doing the French toast and sausage. He said, I want some sandwich. I said, oh, okay. So I tried to pass the French toast off as French toast sandwich. I put it on the plate. He nibbled at it. He said, no, I want some sandwich. I kept right on. This is what he wanted. Let me get to where y'all can. Y'all people, he wanted a sandwich. He knew what he wanted. This is a half a hoagie. I made him half the first time. Now he eating the second half. So this is his bread sandwich. Thank you very much. Okay, y'all, as I was saying before I got so rudely interrupted due to the fact that I didn't realize I didn't have enough space to do what I was doing. But anyway, it just touched my heart and just brought to reality this morning when I listened to that message talking about what was happening in the schools and how the children were to finish they had a time frame of the 29th of May to finish up their schoolwork, and encouraging them to make the best use of this time to make sure that they're up on their studies, and even now they have the opportunity to better some scores and some grades and stuff like that. It just made it real, even more real. Even things like that just brings this crisis full circle to let us know that this thing is real, and there's still people, I understand, are talking, whatever the conspiracy theories are, or that this is not for real, that it's just gonna blow over. I dare say this is for real, y'all. I have 4 family members up close and personal in another state that have contracted this virus. Some friends that I know up close and personal. So this thing is real, y'all. So we need to just take it as seriously as we possibly can, and try to encourage one another to do the same and to do what we have to do to help one another through this. Keep calling people, keep encouraging people, keep praying for people to get through this situation. Okay, our French toast and our sausage, as you can see, everything's about ready. I'm going to put these on the plate here with the sausage. Narik is on this thing about some kind of sandwich, and praise the Lord, I don't know what sandwich he's talking about. Okay, he said he want a bread sandwich. I got some lunch meat, and I'm going to make him a bread sandwich. I'm not real sure what kind of sandwich he wants. I'm going to let you show me what kind of sandwich you want. Because I'm not real sure, baby. Because, if I'm going to make it, I want to do what you want. So, there are those beautiful French toast slices made out of that crafted brioche bread. A little whipped up egg and milk. Throw it in the skillet, brown it up. And I sort of press them down. Because if when that mixture goes through, it'll make them sort of soggy in the middle. But if you press down on it a little bit, it'll take care of that. So, I'm going to go ahead now.
Mama, what's this? What's this?
That's lemonade. I'm going to go right ahead now and continue cooking. I'm going to be an over easy egg is what I'm wanting to eat here this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and make me an egg, and I'm going to come back and talk to y'all about some other things. So hold tight for me. Okay, y'all, I am back. I had to share that little snippet that Narik was kept asking for that sandwich. Little kids are so wonderful. They say and do the cutest little things, and it's always good to capture those moments when they're small like that. I can remember when his dad was running around that size, when his uncle was running around, his cousins and all that are older were running around that size, and now here he is hanging out with me, and he kept asking me about, Gigi, I want a sandwich, and I said, what kind of sandwich? He said, a bread sandwich. So Gigi finally figured out that he wanted a sandwich with some meat, some mayo, and bread. And I found some hoagie buns, and Lord have mercy, that baby ate a whole hoagie sandwich. So he knew what he wanted from the beginning. So I've got something else I'd like to share with you. Y'all know I've told you recently that I love poetry, have always loved poetry. Sometimes I sit and read it. Sometimes I might put pen to paper, and I'll share some of those with you later on. But right now, I'm going to share some more with you from the prophet, Khalil Gibran, one of my favorite prophet poets. Okay, and this particular poem is talking about knowledge. And for those of you who listened before when I read, he starts out in a very prophetic way. His poetry is quite deep, very revealing, and soul stirring, and that's one of the reasons why I love it. And especially now that we're going through so many things about, where we are, who we are, how we feel about this crisis that we're going through. So I just wanted to share this one because it's very important now for us to have self-awareness, self-knowledge, because until we figure out who, what, and where, the 5 W's of ourselves, it's going to be difficult for us to do anything to help anyone else or to get through beyond where we are. So, and this is for all of us, for anybody that is listening that's interested in being a better person when you come through this crisis and not having so many hardships going through, because this is a hard time. These are hard times. We are trying to keep to praying without ceasing. We're trying to keep to encouraging and keeping up with one another. And this speaks to taking a look at yourself and a little bit about self-knowledge. And it goes like this. And a man said, "Speak to us of self-knowledge." And he answered, saying, "Your hearts know in silence the secrets of the days and the nights, but your ears thirst for the sound of your heart's knowledge. You would know in words that which you have always known in thought. You would touch with your fingers the naked body of your dreams. And it is well you should. The hidden wellspring of your soul must needs rise and run murmuring to the sea, and the treasure of your infinite depths would be revealed to your eyes. But let there be no scales to weigh your unknown treasure, and seek not the depths of your knowledge with staff or sounding line. For self is a sea boundless and measureless. Say not, I have found the truth, but rather, I have found a truth. Say not, I have found the path of the soul. Say rather, I have met the soul walking upon my path. For the soul walks upon all paths. The soul walks not upon a line, neither does it grow like a reed. The soul unfolds itself like a lotus of countless petals. Now, for me, that's great food for thought, speaking to how our mind reaches out in so many different directions, how it lends itself to seeking to know what it is about us that makes us different, that makes us think, that makes us walk, that makes us talk, that makes us do and say the things that we do and say sometimes, that helps us to know who we are when it comes to dealing with things that are considered crisis, hard times, hardships, heartache, heartbreak. I was listening to some information today on one of the programs. Can't even think the name of the program pretty much. Maybe I'll think of it before I finish talking. But one thing it said that caught my ear, and it said, take a breath. Just take a deep breath sometimes and give thought to who you are, and what you're going to say, what you're going to think. I say this to my children and to young folk all the time. When you're getting ready to do or say something, and you sometimes you know it's not quite right, a deep breath can make all the difference in the world. Give yourself the opportunity um, to pull back a little bit and think before you get out there. That's a self-knowledge. I know that about myself. I know full well when I am upset about something, and I know when I need to take a deep breath. And the times that I don't and know that I don't take it, because I sometimes, you know how you get, sometimes you just don't want to, but I know this about me. If I give myself the opportunity to take that deep breath, what comes out of my mouth, what comes through my thought process is going to be so much better. So that was one of the really good things that I thought I was looking at on this program. And there were even some children involved in it, and they were talking to the children, and they would say, asking the children, what do you do in a situation where you need to not say something, not speak about something? And it was amazing. Some of those children seemed to be no more than about 8 or 9 years old. Um, then they begin to talk about, in that situation, in that take a deep breath situation, see your best self. How do you see your best self? Ask yourself that question sometime. And when I heard that today, I thought, how do I see my best self? What is your best self? And some of the answers that those children even gave were really impressive. One young lady says, I see my best self as being compassionate. Another one said, I see my best self as being patient. Another one said, I see myself helping people. I see myself as reconciling things. And we've talked about reconciliation a lot on this channel, so hopefully we are still holding to that. And a gentleman said, I see myself as a protector in these times. I see myself as a protector of my family, protecting my loved ones, the people that I know. And an older lady said, I see myself as a loyal person. I want to be loyal to people. I want to be loyal to what I'm doing. And another young child said that I see that they saw themselves as positive. And they said they wanted to be positive because negative things made them feel bad. So they saw themselves as positive. Another young person said that I see myself as calm. And she made a good analogy. She said, for instance, when I'm outside on the playground, I'm all hyped up and I'm jumping around and playing. And when it's time to go in after recess, I want to be able to be calm. I want to see myself calm down, because when I go in the classroom, I need to be calm. You see how children's minds work? They know. And if we give them the opportunity to sometimes bring those little thoughts out, they come out as big things, big, profound things. That is why on my videos, when you see my children and grandchildren around, I always take the time to answer their questions. I'll stop in the middle of cooking sometimes, if it makes sense, and see what they have to say, see what they want. And then I express to them sometimes, listen, hold on a minute, grandma's got to finish. Let me finish just a minute. And they say, okay, grandma. They understand. Even when it's, grandma, I want a cookie, I want another sandwich. I say, okay, grandma's going to get you a sandwich just as soon as she finishes this. Okay, baby, please wait. And they wait. So children know, but we have to give them the opportunity to know themselves. Another older person said that they saw themselves as a generous person. Generosity is a great character trait. And she said the reason she saw herself that way is because it made her feel good when she shared with others, when she gives herself to others or lend herself to others. Another one said something real interesting too. I see myself as a person who is full of energy, because when I'm energized, I feel stronger. I feel more like giving. I feel more like getting out doing things. And I'm thinking to myself, young folk, when you engage them, can give you some of the most profound answers that you could ever want to hear in this life. So self-knowledge is a very important part of life. It's a important part of who we and where we are right now. We need to take the time and do some self-care so that we are prepared, because we've got a long journey ahead of us. We've got some things behind us, but trust you me, we've got some greater things ahead of us, because this situation is not going to just fade away and go away quietly and hide under a rock. So it would behoove us at this point is to pray without ceasing. Pray for other people. Pray for yourself. Prepare yourself to be a prayer warrior. Prepare yourself to have a kind word for another person. And you know, we talk a lot about being bored while we're home. There are people that are genuinely bored, and I apologize if I've ever sound dismissive when people say that they're bored, because it's a real thing for some people. I don't make light of that. I'm just a person that I don't get bored, because I have just like today. Today is Saturday. It's Saturday evening. My house is pretty cleaned up. I didn't have to cook because I made all that spaghetti the other day. I had Norik here with me. I was doing all that, so he's gone now. I dropped some stuff off to Tansy. Was gonna go to Sam's Club. So by now it's 7 o'clock in the evening. So I've been doing all those things, and Tansy asked, she said, Mom, what are you gonna do when you go home? You gonna go home? I know you're not gonna be bored. I said, no, I'm not gonna be bored. I said, cause you know what? When I get home, I got about 4 loads of clothes to fold, and I still haven't folded them. So for me, I'm always busy doing stuff. I could redecorate a room. I could go clean that closet out that I've been telling y'all I was gonna get into. There's all kinds of things that I can do. So most of the time, I think sometimes, what I need to understand about people, which is what I understand about myself, when I say, when people say, well, I don't have anything to do, maybe not something you don't want to do, because I don't want to tackle that closet no time soon, but I'm going to. So if I need something to do, honey, trust you me, I could take my Christmas tree down. I still got my tree up, but I have decided seriously, I'm just leaving my tree up, because when I look at it, it makes me happy, y'all. I'm going to show it to you in a minute to remind y'all. I still got my Christmas tree up, and it's May. Because guess what? December will be here before we know it. It just falls right into place, right where it is. Y'all know I was in the hospital in September. By October, end of November, I had my tree up and decorated, and didn't do a whole lot of other decorating. But I put a lot of work into that, and I thought, you know what? That tree makes me happy. I'm gonna leave it up. So we can always find little things to do. Or, like I always say, honey, if it's nothing, I'm content to do nothing if that's what I feel like I want to do. But we don't want to get into a slump with that. We don't want to let it be something that presses and weighs on us that we have to be at home. Now, I'm a very busy person. Even when I was working, I traveled a lot. But there was no place I'd rather be than home. So I've never had a problem being at home. So for those of you who are having an issue with it, I understand. I understand. I was talking to a friend yesterday. He was home. He said, "Look, I'm a homebody. I'm good at home." But his beautiful wife is an out and about person. He said, "Well, you know what? As long as she got gas in that car, she'll get in and go." He said, "But me, I don't have any problem with that." So you know, that's a couple. So they're exact opposites. When my husband was still living, honey, we could have the best time right here in this house, or we could jump in that car and drive 1,000 miles and have that same good time. So it just depends on where you are in life and how you feel about what you're doing and where you are. So anyway, for those of us who need some things to do, honey, I wish y'all could get here to help me tackle this closet. Anyway, y'all, I just wanted to share that poem with you. Just wanted to say I love you. Continue to pray without ceasing. Call up some folks that you haven't talked to in a while, or even if you talked to them yesterday, call them up again today and say hello to them. Still keeping my family in Tennessee in prayer. Have 4 family members there who have fallen prey to this virus, and we're praying. One of them is out of the hospital and home, but we still have to pray them on through to the end until they get a clean bill of health. Be careful, be mindful. Be obedient to the edicts that are put forth by the city, the state, local government, whatever. don't be so scared to stick your head out the door at the same time, because that's where I am. When I have somewhere to go, I go out, I put on my mask when I go into public places. I got my oil changed yesterday. My oil needed changing. So I went to get my oil changed. I needed groceries the day before. I went to the grocery store. But I put on my mask and I put Norie's little mask on, and we went on about our business. On Sundays, I still cook Sunday dinner. And as long as I know that my family is virus free, they're welcome in my home. I'm not going to go out into a big public gathering. I'm not going to go anywhere that I feel that there's harm coming. So I'm going to use wisdom, because one thing for sure, y'all, God made us, He predestined us, He foreknew us, and He knows what our end is going to be. And I'm not trying to control that. So, and again, at the same time, we must be wise and apply that wisdom. We must be cautious, but not unto fear. Not unto fear. God did not give us a spirit of fear in any kind of situation. And He said, if any man lacks wisdom, ask. And I feel like I'm old enough now that before I do anything, I can seek the Lord in prayer and ask Him, Lord, what shall I do? Lord, give me wisdom in this situation. But I will not live in fear. And I will be obedient to the laws of the land at the same time. So, listen, I don't want to try to preach, honey, because I got to go and get these clothes folded. But I just wanted to touch bases with y'all and just give y'all that little tidbit and to share with you, because it was on my heart to do. Hope you're having a God bless Saturday. I'm having spaghetti again tonight in just a few short minutes. Hope you got something good going on that stove. And tomorrow I just might jump in that kitchen and cook Sunday dinner for my family. So until we meet again, continue to reconcile those differences within your families, among friends, even within yourself. Remember self-knowledge. That's going to be a new term for us, self-knowledge. Seek yourself out. Find out things about yourself. Talk to yourself. My mom used to always say, as long as you don't answer, you're in good shape. Talk to yourself about things. Do what the Word of God says. He told David, encourage yourself. So we can do that. God put those things out there for us to do, so hopefully we can do those things. Pick up the phone and call somebody. Talk to them. Reach out. Don't be too prideful. If you need help, to call somebody and ask for help. Don't sit there and need help and not ask. Find somebody to call. Somebody at the church house, the schoolhouse, the neighbor, whatever. Yeah, whatever you need to do, call somebody. Okay, as I promised, okay, had to get over here on the other side. Turn over here. Let y'all see my tree. Yep, that's it. In the flesh, y'all. My tree is still up. I am still enjoying my Christmas tree, y'all. And it's going to remain up. I might add some extra decorations to it. Whenever I get ready to decorate for Christmas 2020. Because y'all know I love me some decorations now. So my tree is still up, y'all. Don't judge me. I'm serious, y'all. I told y'all I hadn't decided the last time we talked about this tree, but I've decided now I'm leaving my tree up. So listen, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in with me. Thank y'all so much for listening to me and for just being there for me as I was able to talk to you all about some of the things that is going on in my life around here. And most of all, thank y'all for listening to my poetry. I love my poetry. Michael Hill Gabron. Hope you've been able to grab you a copy of this too. This is a great little book here. If you ever get the opportunity, it's called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Okay? So listen, guys. Love you guys so much. Thank y'all for tuning in with me. And until I decide to cook again, talk again, or whatever, keep those prayers going up now so the blessings will continue to come down. Get in that kitchen and cook you something good to eat. Make you a bread sandwich, as Nori can say. Or fry you up something if you got some leftovers, or whip them out, because I'm having leftover spaghetti tonight, y'all. And they might see some of it again tomorrow. I haven't decided quite what I'm going to cook yet. But anyway, we'll be eating something tomorrow. So more than likely, I'll get something going for whether it's just Kareem and I or the rest of the kids, I'll be in that kitchen doing something. So, listen, guys, thanks again for tuning in with me. Stay safe, be obedient, call somebody on the phone, make somebody's day. Fix a meal, send it to them, let them come pick it up or whatever. Reconcile those differences, y'all. Keep those prayers going up. Pray without ceasing. And just remember one thing, God is still in control. So until I decide to do something again, y'all, love you so much. Toodaloo.